Can't help yourself sometimes. Can't help yourself. All right, fellas, NASCAR. NASCAR, fellas, here we go. We're going to talk about this week's race, last week's race. You know how we do it. Once a week, we come together on Tuesday, every other Tuesday sometimes, depending on how we feel. But today, we got a good result in the last race. 7th place for the 23X, Mr. Bubba Wallace. 3rd place for the number 45 car, Tyler Reddick. So 2 top 10s for the 23X. That's a good start. Fellas, how'd y'all like the race?
And that race was awesome.
How'd y'all like the strategy?
That strategy was on par.
It was on par.
It was on par.
Come on, man.
Big, you watched the race? Big Steve, you watched the race?
I caught the highlights. Big
Guy, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it, man. And Bubba's car was slow, man. He just drove his butt off, I thought. But his car actually was slow. He didn't have the mustard, really, I thought, the whole race. He was around 20, but slowly but surely he weaved through traffic, to do what he do. So, like I said, I give Bubba's driving skills good, but he got to get his car faster. He has to get it because the 45 car was faster.
Oh, man. It was crazy because they were on the same strategy at the end of the race on that last restart. It was crazy how fast the 45 got around all those other cars, and they're on the same, tire strategy.
This doesn't make sense to me. Why is his car so much faster?
Man, it was so much faster.
I mean, they both Jordan cars. You know what I'm saying? They both Toyota Jordan cars.
Yeah, that 45 be looking good, though, man.
That 45 looking real good right now, man. They got something going on in that side of the shop that they're not sharing with Bubba's team or something. Like, they need to be on the same page because what the 45 got going on right now is on a whole nother level than what Bubba got going.
I'm gonna get this out the way because you know where I'm going because I go here every week. The strategy I didn't like. And it was up and down because here's what I thought. I was like, okay, because this was on the last pit where he was out there for a while. I was like, well, can he make it? Because if they're thinking that he can make it, then it makes sense that he don't go in, right? I'm not even talking about the overtime because pretty much everybody would have probably ran out of gas except for Logano, apparently. But if you know you 8 laps short before 8 laps, then why did they wait so long to pit? Eventually, you got to come in, right? I mean, you can't run that many yellow flag laps, caution laps, to make 8 laps up. And there were several times they could have came in during a crash and got new tires and been able to drive up and have more time to drive up. I think they waited too long to put Bubba in that position to have to drive through the pack. He went in the pits. He came out 19th.
Yep, that's one. Yep.
And drove up to 7th. He drove up to 7th. He had a couple of accidents that helped him out a little bit, but he drove up to 7th. You could see it on the clicker that he was passing cars. If they had just pitted a little earlier, a couple of accidents earlier, when they knew he couldn't make it, then he would have had more time to drive up through the pack. He just ran out of time. I don't understand. I hate to keep harping on Booty, but it just didn't make sense to me. I was happy he went for it, but then when it came over the speaker that he was 8 laps short, I'm like, 8 laps? And you just pitting now? Go ahead and get in the pit and get them new tires where everybody else is saving gas and on old tires so you can drive up through the pack. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm happy he got 7th, but that was on Bubba to get 7th. He got that 7th. Otherwise, I'm out on that strategy because he just waited too long to get in the pits. Because you see what he could do on new tires when everybody else is on old tires. I mean, come on. That's just me. I'm always the bad guy. So he, say hello to the bad guy.
Well,
He's not a bad
BJ,
guy in this situation. But go ahead.
BJ and Darius, what do you think about the strategy?
Well,
Go ahead, BJ.
I thought he had did that as just as kind of like a Hail Mary type deal to try something to see what was work. I
Okay.
monitored his radio throughout the race. I was listening to his radio throughout the race, and when he took his last pit at what was lap 221 initially, I heard Booty tell him, "Hey, you're gonna have to save for us because we 7 laps short." And I guess his plan was hoping that he would get some cautions and save. But I thought at the start of the race he actually had something going because you remember he started around 23rd or 24th and he drove up to 10th by the end of the stage. So I thought he had a decent car at the start of the race, and then from listening to radio chatter throughout the second stage, he was kind of tight. I heard him say, "Hey, I'm tight. I can't." I think I heard him say, and I'm paraphrasing. I heard him say, "Hey, I've got to slow down almost to pit speed just to make this corner." That's how he fell back a bit during the second stage. Because if you look at the results, he finished 10th in the first stage, but he didn't get any points in the second stage. And by the end of the race, he got back up there, I think, to 7th. I think I think he was just hoping that was a Hail Mary to try to get him back up there in the top 10. And I remember I heard him distinctly say to tell him this, hey, yeah, we 7 laps short, so you're going to have to save some for me, man. And it played out that way that they had the opportunity to pit. That was a wild ending to the race. They don't usually play out like that where they get so many overtimes and restarts and other people have to pit like that. So it kind of played out in that one instance that way, but that was kind of like a Hail Mary thrown right there. And it just kind of sort of connected for them to get that top 10 finish.
Yeah, man. My thing is though, every week I see a similar strategy, man. I see the 45 car in the top 5 or 6 fighting for the top 5 or 6 the whole race, every stage. And I see the 23 car, just kind of weaving through traffic. You know what I'm saying? And then he falls back, he weaves through traffic, and he ends up 15 to 20. And this particular time he ended up 7th. But it's a similar strategy every week. And to me, it's not a winning strategy if you play to win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are we racing for if you don't play to win? I know we try to get points, but you also race for wins. You know what I'm saying? And his car he is just not set up for speed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that Bubba prefers that to kind of lay back and wait for accidents and you know what I'm saying, and try to weave around the accidents, or that's just his particular race strategy and he's hoping to give him at least one win, or we're struggling to set the car up before the race. What do you think, Darius?
Definitely think it's the second. I don't think it's a strategy of him just laying back there. I think that's the best that he's doing right now. I think that's just what he can do.
So
let's go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish up.
No, I was just thinking about like even last week because we didn't do a show last week, but look at New Hampshire last week. That was New Hampshire last week, right? No, that wasn't New Hampshire. That was
Iowa, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Iowa.
was New Hampshire last week.
No, it was New Hampshire. Yeah, it was New Hampshire.
Yeah,
he didn't do good there. His performance there was trash.
What?
Sorry. Maybe that's just a tough criticism there, but
yeah,
it's my opinion.
So do you think?
You know what I mean?
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so what do you really think it is? Is it like maybe his team telling maybe it's not his time or something like that, and maybe the 45 car should be like more presented or something? I mean, because obviously whatever's going on in his situation, it just doesn't seem to be working, and it's becoming more and more of a problem because again. I'm like with Deacon, I'm not trying to harp on it, but I mean it just seems like he's settling for middle of the pack. And that's all we've been getting is mediocrity, you know what I'm saying, from that since like the beginning of the season. And I
Right.
don't and I don't like, you know what I'm saying, I want to say like, you know, this is his, I want to say this is best or whatever, but I just feel like again something is lacking, and again I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying, maybe next year they fix these problems, but for now I think they really need to reevaluate, you know, what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in that crew or whatever the case, but whatever. I think they really need to take a look at what's going on because again, there's no way with the 45 cars should be outplaying him.
Well,
No, no, not at all.
well, I'm gonna say it if nobody else can say it. Tyler Reddick is a better driver than Bubba. Let's just put it
That's
out there.
that's a fact. That is a fact. I agree.
And
Yeah,
he just knows how to drive, man. That dude. Some of these guys are born for this, man. Some of these guys learn how to do it. And I think that when Tyler Reddick came into the team, it was obvious who the best driver was and who the best team was immediately.
Right. Right.
Um, so I just keep harping on you can't continue. I mean that's like having a quarterback that can't throw the ball. You got to find you a backup quarterback or something,
You can't have Rex Grossman.
huh?
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman.
So I just think they need to switch things up. That's the only way you're gonna change something, man. So I got to shake it up, and I'm not even impressed right now if they do it in the middle of the season. They can wait till the end of the season. It's all good, but they're gonna have to show. I mean, if I was a sponsor, I'd be like, hey, come on, man, you got to do something. I don't mind the process, but I can't be middle of the pack every race. You know what I mean? Come on, give me something. Show me that you're trying to push forward. Or I'm
Right.
going to sponsor somebody else who's better, who's coming in, who's on TV. Those are the leaders, they're both battling for the lead. Those guys. I'll find one of them guys.
Well,
Yeah.
I realize it's very difficult to win NASCAR. It's not like an easy thing. You know what I'm saying? It's it's a labor of love, and there's racers out there that may only win, we may never win. You know what I'm saying? Depending upon the space and the sponsorship and the money they can pour into the car and driving skills. So it's a tough thing. It's just Bubba was competitive last year. He was competitive the year before last. So we expect the same thing. He took a step back this particular year. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether Tyler Reddick is a better driver or not, it's hard for me to say, but Bubba was competitive the last 2 years before this year. This year, he's taken that definite step back.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's
I just feel like, to me, if I'm a sponsor, like you said, I want to see some production. I want to see at least if you're going to be middle of the pack or whatever, say let's say top seven, but you're going to have to average top seven. I mean, you can't be seven and then come back next race be 15 and expect me to be like, oh, I'm proud of you. If you're going to be seven throughout, you know what I'm saying, the season. At least you're there, but it's not consistent. It's always, you know what I'm saying, it's always something. And if you can't even give me a top five, at least throughout as many races there are, you can't get in the top five out of one of those races, is telling me something.
Well, let's not poo-poo the whole deal. The man did come in seventh place. That's progress in itself, at least for one week. If he didn't get it this week, he damn sure wasn't gonna get it this week coming up because he's not a road racer. And we talking about going to Chicago, which is basically his hometown, right? If I'm correct about that.
I don't know where he's from. Good
No,
point.
he's from Alabama, right?
I thought it was
yeah. He was
Alabama.
born in Mobile, but I think he
Yeah.
grew up in North Carolina.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, why do you say like Chicago's his? Remember when they first announced Chicago, he was like the sponsor. He went out there and drove his car around in traffic and stuff. Is it like
I think that was
headquarters?
I think that was more of a marketing type deal. They figured that's Michael Jordan's team. And they
Yeah,
figure that's
that's
Michael Jordan's driver. They putting them out
right,
there in Chicago. That was more of
right.
a
Yeah, that's
marketing deal.
marketing. Yeah,
oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
Well, listen, he came in 7th this week, and he moved up one spot to 15. Although since Joey Logano won the race, that puts him further back. Wait, is it 16 or 15 drivers going to the playoffs?
It's 16. Since Joey Logano won, he locked himself in.
Right,
Bubba is below the cut line. He's the first driver below the cut line since
right,
it's
but they
16
got it
drivers.
right, but
Go ahead.
they got him on the website as he's 15th right now.
That's the overall driver. The way they do it is kind of confusing to some people. If they have a separate driver standings, then they have the playoff standings. Those are two separate things. He's 15th in the driver standings. If you take away the playoffs and not having to win and get a race in, if they were going like old school, just no playoffs, nothing, he would be 15th in those standings. Because they have the playoff standings and they're going off of who won, somebody behind him in points, I think it's Suarez, it might be Suarez, Daniel Suarez. It's either Suarez or one of them cats that caught a win early in the season. They are behind him in driver standings, but because they won a race, they are ahead of him in the playoff standings. That's why he's top 15 driver, but he's below the cut line in playoffs because he hasn't won a race, but somebody behind him in points has, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got you. Because, well, I don't know. You say somebody won a race, but is behind him in points?
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yes, I got you. Because so he don't have much points built up, but he won a race, so he's automatically in. So yeah, because I'm clicking on driver standing, playoffs picture, but it's not giving me anything. So all I got
it's Suarez. I'm looking at it now. Suarez is 18th. Daniel Suarez is 18th in the overall driver standings, but because he has won a race earlier this year, that puts him. Where is he at in the playoff standings? He's 12th in the playoff standings, so that catapults him up above him, if that makes sense, just because he has a win.
makes sense.
Yeah. That's why they say wins, saying get you where you need to be.
When he in, that's right.
All Bubba needed to do was win one time this season, and we wouldn't even be worried about this.
That's us every year. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If I could, I'll say I'll give them this pat on the back this week. They at least found themselves. They at least found themselves up there running. I guess the results were the top 10 finish. They found themselves up there running and got to the front and avoided being taken out by somebody else's calamity because we've seen that happen a few times this year where you hang around back. I think I mentioned it several weeks back where you hang around back there with them cats, them mid pack guys. You hang around them for too long, one of them will lose and take you out. Next thing you know, if your race may be over with and they race over with too, or in some cases your race over with, but they still going. So I'll give them that pat on the back this week. They stayed away from back there and found themselves with the top 10 finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let me ask you, gentlemen, what percentage do you give Bubba making the playoffs?
20, 25, maybe even less than that. Because 50 points, he's a lot of points behind.
How many races left into the playoffs again?
8.
I think 8 after 8 going into this week. It would take, I'm gonna be slightly more generous and say I'd be slightly more generous and say 30, 35. It would take. He's probably going to take a win, and I could see him probably swinging his best stick at swinging his best bat. I mean, at the probably at Daytona or maybe even Michigan. Indy is a toss up just because they haven't ran the Indy Oval in several years, and I don't know how anybody's going to perform there. They haven't ran the Oval at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in several years, so they usually run the road course. I don't know how anybody's going to perform there, but
I think Kyle
Michigan and
Larson's going to
Daytona
dominate.
maybe his best bet, and the playoff star, September 8th at Atlanta. Those are his best bets, in my opinion, to get that. He could run good at Pocono. He's ran well at Pocono in the past. I think it's going to take a win.
Something happened to you, Mike, BJ. Yeah, it's definitely going to take a win for him to get in. He's not going to. I don't think he's racing his way in this year. It's
I'll
gonna
give
be
him a 40. I got a 40%.
40.
40. Ooh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
give
pretty
him.
high.
I'm gonna give him 40, but I'm gonna give Bubba 40,
Ooh,
man.
that's a little less than half.
I because of what we saw last year, I'm holding faith. I'm holding faith he's gonna turn that thing around. Think about it. I mean, he made it through 2 rounds, right? He got eliminated on the
Yeah,
third one, right?
yeah. He almost got crashed
He
out the last one. So yeah,
he almost made it last. Like, come on, Bubba. I know it's there. We gotta
well,
see it.
what,
I don't know. I give him 40.
well, he needs to. He damn sure don't need no more DNFs. So that
No.
they messed them two in the beginning of the season really messed him up.
Hmm.
I'm hoping this finish at Nashville is going to help kind of build some momentum for him. Fingers crossed.
That's what we
Yeah,
always
I'm
say.
so I would love to see him in the playoffs. I was giving him more like 20%. Just because, man. I mean, I don't. Actually, I may give him a little higher. Maybe like I said, maybe even 30% for the simple fact, like everybody that what I'm saying, because towards the end, like a lot of people kind of like take their foot off the gas a little bit because they know they're kind of like solidified. So. I mean, I'm just thinking maybe, he can squeeze his way in with a win by, I want to say default, but knowing that everybody's, they're good, they're not, what I'm saying, they're ready for the playoffs, stuff like that. So maybe he can sneak in and get one of those wins, like you said, Daytona or Michigan, something like that, kind of get that dub. So that's where I'm kind of like
But
where I'm at with
here's a
it.
chance of the restricted place. So that is true. Do we have another
So,
restricted play race coming?
Daytona before the playoffs.
Is
Daytona.
it before the playoffs? Okay.
Yes.
See, I just think Busher and who's the other one? Busher and hold on,
Let me go look and
Bowman.
see who.
Busher and Bowman. I think Busher and
Yeah.
Bowman just going to fall off, to be honest, because that's the two. I think Gibbs is going to make it because that's the next one that's in front of them. But I think Busher and Bowman, one of them is going to fall off, and I think Bubba will just outperform one of those two just because
He ain't
I
gonna.
do think he's a better driver. I do think he is at least on par of a driver of those two, if not at least a little bit better.
Yeah. I was seeing
Gibbs,
Bowman falling off before Busher will.
Busher.
You said what?
I see Bowman falling off before Busher would.
Exactly. I do see Bowman falling off before Busher. I think Busher, after add that RFK and Keselowski camp, I think they got some good performing cars. I think he'll perform a little solid, but I don't think Bowman's gonna make it. And I think his job could be at risk soon. Just saying.
Oh, Bowman's job?
Yeah, man. He's like the weakest Hendrix driver. I'm
mm.
sorry. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say he's the weakest performing Hendrix car driver.
The weakest link.
He's the weakest link.
Yeah.
Coming in for Jimmy too. That's saying something, man. That's some high expectations. Ain't going. It's funny how NASCAR, out of all the sports, though, NASCAR don't have high turnover like that.
Mm.
When you talk about drivers in and
No,
out of cars.
no,
Yeah,
because
that's
they
true.
got contracts. They got no contracts, man. And plus, a lot of them contracts are stipulated with the sponsorships too. So that's the last thing they want to do is lose their sponsors.
But Alex been there for a minute though. You don't think his contract coming up soon?
Hey, don't look like it. He don't seem to be on the hot seat.
I know,
I
right?
was
That's
about to
crazy.
say, yeah.
So
He's gonna get an
Uh,
extension.
word.
and right now he's in the playoffs. So
Yeah, he's
can't hang him on
he's
that.
yeah, he's
Wasn't that
solidified himself.
So this next
He ain't
race,
solidified himself. He's on the border. He's on the last spot right now.
But I mean, if he's in the playoffs at the moment, what I'm saying, hey, that's one up.
If Bubba was
Especially
still,
when he ain't make it last year. Go
I
ahead.
go,
Hmm.
I just wrecked dude. I was like,
Oh wow, bro, that's crazy.
hey, do you want to win? You want to get in? Or what? What's up?
you will push him to the wall.
I hit him. I tapped him in his left rear quarter panel and see what he got.
So
Hey,
this
sometimes
next,
you got listen. Tell me, Daryl Earnhardt didn't do that sometimes.
He did.
Come on, man. Let's be honest about the classic years, man. He used to tap people out all the time. You in the way, you in the way.
Man, he made his living doing that.
Come on now.
He got a highlight reel doing that.
Yeah.
That's why he the intimidator, right?
Sometimes you
That
gotta be
was-
an asshole, man.
and it worked. It worked.
Sometimes that's just what you gotta be. What you say Al, about the next race?
What's the next race? Super Speedway
Nah, Chicago road race
Mm-mm.
on the
road race.
streets of Chicago.
Chi-town.
What do you think? You think SVP gonna repeat?
He could. I mean, I don't know. He been
Man,
trying to
that's a
stop rules, but
I think he could.
He's a road course racer, so
I think he could, but I think some of them other guys gonna be better prepared this time around.
Yeah, they
Like
will.
good.
he had the gift of surprise last year. Some of them cats gonna be ready for him this year. I said he won't win again, but I think he gonna be ready for him this time a little bit. Some of the other guys
That's a
gonna
good
be ready
point.
for him. I
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Is it the same configuration?
Yeah,
mean, to my knowledge, yeah, it's the same configuration.
man, that's a nice looking track, man. I want to go one day. I want to go to that race now. That's a nice looking track.
Are you going across the bridges and stuff like that in Chicago?
No,
I don't.
street race.
I gotta take a look at the lineup again. I know they own the layout is. It's a pretty simple layout. Let's see where they are.
It's almost like a figure eight.
Yeah,
But
it kind of
on the
almost is. Yeah.
I think they down. I think they're down at the Navy Yard, right? Somewhere close to that.
Yeah, they're near. Let's see,
Navy
not
Pier.
that-
The
the
Navy Pier.
exact layout of it. The exact layout of it, because it's a very simple layout.
Yeah, I'll look for it. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I wonder they go through the south side and come back towards the marina
Mm.
and do it
It
that way.
starts. Where is this at? Southward. No, that's off a turn 2. South Lakeshore Drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's turn 3, turn 4, and South Columbus Drive. It really is, like you said, like a figure 8 layout. It's a very simple layout. It ain't like a layout like Sonoma where you're going through S's and
Right.
going downhill and uphill or whatever like that. It's a fairly simple layout.
Mm.
Here's right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, they do cross.
Yeah, they do. Yep. So yeah,
Yeah, so it's down on the water.
it's on the
Yep.
water. Yeah, on the water side. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a nice looking track.
Got one little circle down there at the bottom. Otherwise, it's a pretty straight track.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, getting
It
around
is.
1-6 is probably the hardest thing to do. Well, 1-6 and 7. Because you probably have to slow down on all these turns,
Yeah.
except for maybe 3.
So the speed's gonna be totally reduced.
They moved down. I mean, from 12 to 1 and from 5 to 6.
You can pick
That's
up.
a pretty nice speed. And 2 to 4 probably. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's not a bad rate. I mean, there's some ways to maneuver on there. I don't see. Do you see Bubba? Do you think? I mean, how does he do on the street? Like, what type of what place did he come in last time?
Let's find out.
How did he do on this track?
I shall look it up.
I mean, I know he's not a road racer, so I'm assuming that he didn't do well.
But this is a novelty track for everybody. So
Because there's a lot of straightaways on this track, though.
yeah, but it's hard to pass though. There's no room to pass in the corners. You got to pass on the straightaway on these joints.
Mm.
Oh, you got to outbrake somebody. But I think last year rained, right?
Yeah, it did rain. The drivers had to deal with rain all weekend last year. I think the weather forecast was a little bit better. Yeah, last year his finish here was let me see. Yeah, he finished. They got him listed as finishing 30th last year here.
Oh wow.
That's about
And
right.
that was, I think, that was his worst road course finish from last year? I think. No, they got him finishing 37th at Coda. I don't remember that. That must have been the race where he blew the edge. It might have been. I don't remember. But they got to finish 37th. But they got finished in 30th here last year. That is it's going. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying not good, not good.
No, I
This is the
know.
full race results.
Well, we're hoping for better this year. He has his second time around, and maybe he'll get better this time. Maybe Booty will have something for him this week.
So how wide are these street lanes?
I think it's 4 lanes.
Yeah, they 4 lanes.
4 lanes.
Hmm.
So you
We, if
can't
we,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say. When you get a minute, check out. If you get some time, run and check out. I'm sure the highlights from last year's race is still up on YouTube on NASCAR's YouTube channel. Just type in, look up the 2023 Chicago Street Race, and that layout and course is the exact same. They're going to probably, I think, use this year. Then you get an idea of what it's going to probably look like now. Like they said last year, they was dealing with rain. I think the weather is supposed to be a little bit better this time around. How that track, Mike's going to look.
So I mean, if it's a 4 lane, why would it be so hard to pass on the streets though?
It's just tight in the corners because you can't build up speed coming out of the corner.
Hmm.
Yeah, and some of those turns pitch back down from 4 to 2 to some of them even 1. Like those turns, if it's 4 lanes on the straightaway, some of those turns pinch back down and get the lanes become smaller.
Hmm.
So how long are some of these straightaways? What, quarter mile? Like how long are these like straightaways? Because they seem pretty long to where you can pass.
The full track length is 2.2 miles, so it's about the same size as it's a little bit bigger than Sonoma, but about the size of trying to figure out if it's a road course that's about the size of it. Because Coda in Texas is bigger than that. It's about the size of, I don't think, no, they ain't went there yet. It's about the size lengthwise of the road course they go to later on this year, Watkins Glen. It's about 2 point, how many miles is the race? 78. Okay, that was last year's race. Okay. They've chopped 3 laps off, so it's going to be 75 laps this year. So,
See,
uh,
look at the straightaway. The straightaway seems like it'd be long enough, like you could. Oh, because maybe the rain. That's why it's filmed the way it is. But I mean, from what I'm looking at, like, yeah, those corners are treacherous, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those
there's
corners
no
are
wiggle room.
treacherous.
There's no wiggle
Yeah,
room. You come out that corner, man. You got a brick wall coming at you.
yeah, those
You
corners
you got
are
to bring
something
down to the
else.
same speed almost, and then try to take off on the straightaway. Like I said, 3 and 4 is probably the best curve to be able to try to get somebody you can get into the corner on them. But these other ones, man, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I see somebody almost get it out in the rain.
Yeah.
So Amagola, oh, he's get it out. Yeah.
But that's I
hmm.
think it was bad representation because it was raining last year, so they really couldn't show you what they had. I think this year, if it doesn't rain, you get a better idea what the street course should have been.
Right.
Because that was happening
Uh,
all day. People just spinning. These are regular streets. These aren't NASCAR tracks. So I'm sure they don't have as much grip on them, and you can't lay down as much rubber as well.
yeah. Well, we'll see with the better weather, but
Yeah, see, just a mess,
yeah.
mess. It should be interesting though. Should be interesting. Hopefully, and it's got to be on this crew to qualify better too. You got to start qualifying better. That's the only way you can stay up front is if you qualify good. You
Hmm.
qualifying back in 20, you burning your engine up trying to get to the front, burning your tires down, trying to pass people all the time. And
Now
then
that
more
is to
people
me
do that.
a concern because earlier in the year he was qualifying better, but they haven't really
Mhm.
found it saying qualifying to be the races this year. They were qualifying to start the year. The 2013 was a little bit better. Now I don't know if everybody else is caught up or if they've slipped back. But if you look at the first
Yeah.
few races of the year, they were qualifying pretty respectively.
But if you look at it too, though, beginning of the year, he was qualifying later in the day. So after they were getting a lot of rubber on the track from people qualifying all the time, and the sun was going down, or they would get more traction on the track. And see, Bubba always going in Group A, and then he'd be top Group A, and then Group B come on, and then like 15 people pass him in Group B, and Group A is just like, it's doesn't even matter because they went out so early that their qualifying times weren't even up to par.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, he ain't getting out of that.
I was about to say, yeah, he's pretty much he's done. He's done for the day. Yeah, them roads though. I mean, the straightaways look nice, but them corners, they look like
So how do y'all like them when they're riding in the rain instead of waiting for the track to dry?
Honestly,
I think. Good.
I would say, to me, I don't really care about because I want to see everybody's best on some of these, especially on the streets. Like, if take away the rain, I think say performance could have been a little bit better, and that's what I like. I like to see everybody get a fair shot. I don't like to see the elements kind of dictate what's going to happen that day. I want to see the best of the best. Because look at that, you just skidding out and ooh, what a crash. I mean, just stuff like that. Because you don't know, like I said, you don't know what the outcome may be if it didn't rain. That's just me per se.
I'm talking
Like
about
football.
any track though, any track. Like a couple tracks ago, they ran in the rain. They put the rain tires on, and some people did
that's
well.
New Hampshire.
Some people didn't.
I think it for one good thing about it, I think it's a testament and shows off people's certain drivers' skill. Like I think like somebody who I think is tough in it, and if it does rain again, he would be tough because he was tough at Chicago last year. I think he eventually crashed out, but he was up and challenging. Was the guy who won at New Hampshire, Bell. I think since he comes from dirt track, that slipping and sliding style kind of suits him. And I think the rain, what I want to see it every week all the time, no, but I think it's good to see. It's one of those things that can be a test and say, okay, who's got the best driving skills, who can really work and whip out here to see who can really handle it out here. 'Cause some of the guys, I think, some of the drivers, I think, are the rain. They can't really handle it, and I think some of them can. Like I think if some of the guys that came up in I ain't gonna say dirt track, but some of the guys have skills more tuned to it, and I think it's when you see them have to touch rain, it makes them work a little bit harder. I think, but that's just me.
They
Yeah, I
gotta
get
get
it.
they gotta get better on the rain tires too. They be blistering fast.
I mean, that kind of goes for all sports. Like whatever whatever you kind of like came up, depending on say your situation, you're more accustomed to. Like I said, like quarterbacks in a sense. Some of them come from North Aid. They're kind of accustomed to bad weather, rain, snow. When you got other quarterbacks coming from, hot weather, and they're accustomed to like indoors, stuff like that. So, yeah, I kind of get it. But
So
I'd
what do
like
you
to see
think?
the
Man,
best
the
of the
city in the
best.
back is insane.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a beautiful track.
So what do you got chances? What do you give? What do you give next week? Mid pack?
It was 30th last year, right?
Got it. It
I
can't
feel
get
like
no worse.
I,
I think he'll get 22nd. I think he'll move up.
I was gonna give him seven. I was gonna some 17. I mean, if it's clear, if it's good weather, I'll give him 17.
I mean, any of those numbers is a move up for him on a road course like this. This is a tough road course. I mean, hopefully it's not raining, but it's a tough road course though.
I'm gonna surprise
Yeah.
y'all. I think he's gonna be top 10 this week.
Again,
Mm.
mm,
Oh,
Wow.
Top
You
10,
heard it
baby.
here. You heard it here, guys. You heard it here.
I admire the confidence and faith. I admire it.
Yeah,
I got 15th. I got him in 15th.
that's what I said. Yeah, 17, 15 range.
I mean,
Top
this
10,
is
bro. It's gonna be, and then it's gonna be pit strategy too. It's me. Booty gonna come clean this week.
Booty gonna step his game up, huh?
We're gonna step it up. He gonna go. We're gonna win on long distance run. We ain't pitting. We ain't going in the pit this week.
Okay.
One tank, all the whole thing. One tank.
All right, man.
There
Can
go Alex
I give a
again.
quick shout out?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I want to give a quick shout out to Rajah Caruth, man. You know, that was the first truck race this past weekend in about a month. The trucks had a few
Yeah,
weeks
it's been
off.
a while.
I think he finished fourth, I believe. So good run for him in the first truck race, man. And, the guy who
Let's
won,
go.
couldn't nobody touch him. So he walked him. But Rajah Caruth, see where he started. I know he started good. He had a good qualifying run, and he wound up. They stayed up there and they brought it, and he finished fourth. So good
Okay.
step in the right direction for him.
Hey, he's fifth. He went up one spot.
Yeah.
In the points?
In the
He's
point.
fit the points?
He's fit, driver points. Obviously, there's some other
Nice.
points that I'm
I
like.
did
It's
see
for the
Reddick's name.
playoff picture. He is fourth. So yeah. So
Nice.
Was
Shout out
that
Roger
Reddick's name,
Cruz.
top
Let's
five?
go.
So he has one win. Sanchez has 2 wins. Kristen Eckers got 3 wins, and Corey Haim got 4 wins. So he's one of the 4 that has wins. So he's automatically in. And he's doing good in points too. So that's not the only way. He would have been in anyway, just with points. So he doing his thing over there. Yeah, they was off for a while. Anyway, fellas, we're gonna get out of here. I guess we're gonna do some basketball. Biggie said he got some big news, so we gotta talk to the street reporter.
We're gonna switch it over, but let's go Chicago.
Yep. Let's see you in Chicago.
Top 15. Let's go, Bubba.
And happy 4th of July to everybody too,
Yeah,
man.
happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Independence Day, baby.
Yep.
Barbecue time, baby.
Yes, sir.
Barbecue and
Let's
beers.
get it.
No glizzies.
Carhartt, EK glasses, champion of Spartacus, valleys and gold ropes, polka dot shorts, backpacks, Nikes and Van Grags, MCM come again. The fact that I'm in the booth now, hip hop alive and well throughout the underground. Remember to let us into your skin, and we'll begin to master rhyming.
Hey yo, kid, what's up? Remember when I used to be dope? Yeah. Hey yo, kid, what's up? Remember when I used to be dope? Yeah. Hey yo, kid, what's up? Remember when I used to be dope? Yeah. Hey yo, kid.
All right, fellas. Biggie Steve, you got some big news, my man. We are talking Washington Wizards. We're coming off the draft week where we stayed on for too long, waiting for them to pick the last pick in the first round. But we hung in there with everybody. We appreciate y'all hanging in with us. We got 3. We got 1 premium pick, 1 mid, nice pick, and then 1 project.
Yeah, roll the dice pick.
Roll the dice pick. Biggie, what you got for us?
Okay, so well, we already got the Teddy news out the way, but we have our new teammate in town. Okay.
Don't be skipping over Denny. Come on now, do
Don't stop here. Yeah, for the people that missed draft night, yes, Denny was traded. He has gone now to the Portland Trail Blazers for Mikael Bridges, Mountain Brogdon, and the number 14th pick in the draft. So, sorry, Denny, but, maybe you'll move on to bigger and better things, and
That was a
you'll be
great
the star in
trade for
Portland.
y'all.
Turbo.
I thought so, too. I thought it was a beautiful trade.
I was shocked at the return for
So
Denny. I was like, what?
Let's talk about Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
Keep him. Is he going to be part of this team? He's a veteran. He knows how to play. Do we need him on our squad?
Well, for right now, we got 3, because as I'm told, we're going to probably do a sign and trade and ship off Tyus Jones. We're still waiting to see what type of offers we can get for him. Hopefully, it'll be maybe some draft pick, another player contract we could pick up, depending on what our needs are. We do have the salary cap for it to take on another contract. So at this moment, I could see Brogdon and Poole at the point guard position at this moment.
So you
With
rather have
Tyus on his
Brogdon
way
and
door.
Jones, or you just looking for that draft pick?
Uh, I'd actually keep Ty. I actually keep Tyus for right now. What I'm saying, see what I can get for Tyus because I'm pretty sure there's a market for Tyus right now. Somebody, what I'm saying, somebody will jump on that.
They talking
Is
And
he
about
for a first though?
two.
I don't know if we get a first. I
I know
mean, it
you
all depends,
know.
but I mean, I wouldn't mind a first, but okay, so we'll see because nothing, like I said, nothing amazes me in the NBA right now with all these
All right,
picks.
hold on, Big Al. How many veterans do you need on a team, on a basketball team? I mean, we're talking about bringing up these young guys. Somebody got to teach them, other than the coach. You got to have some on the court people who can show. Like we just picked up Valanciunas. That's good for Alex Starr. You can show him how to play
Hmm.
professional basketball, play with the back to the basket, know how to play different positions. Because he's not going to be the center now. He's going to be the four. And if we're doing anything, we're trying to train our young guys up. And the most important young guys are Alex Starr, Bub Carrington, Blige,
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly. Yeah, those are the core of our team right now. Those are our young core.
Well, you got to have playing time for them too. That's the problem with having too many veterans on the team, is because vets want to play, vets want to make their money, and right now we have Kuzi Kuz that wants the ball in his hands. You got Poole that wants the ball in his hands. And now Tyus Jones is a natural point guard, and then the other guy you just picked up is a natural point guard. And all of them are better right now than the rookies. The rookies are nowhere near at the level of these vet guys. But the vet guys not going to get you over the hump. They're not going to win more than 15 games just themselves. They all are number 4, number 5 players on a good basketball team. So that's the problem, is the fact that the CBA changed this year, and a lot of teams in the past, a lot of teams will pick up these vets, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for picks. And to make that extra push over the playoffs, to get to the championship. But now with a new CBA with a hard cap, it's a little bit of a difficult challenge, and that's why we're struggling to get rid of some of these vets for picks, because we really want, of course, number 1 picks. And people are a little stingy on some of the number 1 picks, even though the dude for the Nets got 5 number 1 picks from the Knicks. That didn't make sense to me. But
that's a lot.
yeah, which was it, Richardson or something like that? He wasn't that good of a player to get 5 number 1 picks. But the way I understand it is that they wanted that Villanova team on the Knicks team.
Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges. Yeah. So that Villanova team, they thought that was a good chemistry, even though they lost their center. The center went to I believe Oklahoma, right? The center went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, he went to Thunder.
The
3-year
Thunder,
deal.
yeah, so they got some good money, but that hard cap has changed the NBA for free agency this year. So you're not seeing many teams moving. Like LeBron's talking about taking less money.
He has to if he want to.
It was to get Clay, but then Clay left. So I don't know what, you gonna take less money now.
He said thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean,
He said,
that was just a ploy to get his son on the team, though. That was basically what it was. I mean,
no, that was after they already drafted Bronny, though. They were talking about taking his money.
No. This was in the discussion way before that, before LeBron, because LeBron, the news came out before the draft. Before draft was like, hey, if you know what I'm saying, pick up my son, you know what I'm saying, I'll take a less money, whatever, just to get him on the team to play with my son. That was a LeBron move right there. We all know it.
Hey, Biggie, we saying your fingerprint, man. So get your fingerprint.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm sitting here looking at these Wizards news. But
he's on the streets, guys. He's on the streets as he's working.
Yeah, so right now, I think, saying nobody really wants to play with LeBron like that. I mean, they're just gonna have to go young. because where are you going to find like unless Steph, let's just say opts out of his contract or wants to be traded. That's the only thing I could see that could be done. But look how many people have passed on the Lakers. Paul George, Valanciunas. A lot of people just like they don't
Well,
want to be a
LeBron's
Laker.
past his prime, and we all know that the Brow is not going to carry a team to the championship. He's a good player,
Hey,
but
we can
he's
get
not going to
cheaper.
carry a team, and on the cheap. So, saying that, hey, Biggie, did you happen to go on YouTube or happen to watch online where they had your boy Koulibaly learning playground moves with the dribbling skills and learning crossover and stuff like that? That was really interesting. Did you get a chance to see that, Biggie?
No, but I did hear that he has been working on his form and his dribbling skills. I'd like to see that. Especially with the new draft picks coming in, because I think Koulibaly is really a three. He's a small forward, more instead of more of a power forward. And now that we've got Sar, we can kind of like tinker with the lineup a little bit. Whereas in Cruz is of course going to start, and he'd probably be more at the three, and then you have Koulibaly coming in behind him at the three, and then you'd have Sar at the four, and because they're looking at Sar as more of a power forward, and he says he kind of like wants to play the power forward position, and then you'd have Valanciunas at the five, and then you might have Vucevic also either at the four or the five. So right now, I think even though they say we have a center in SAR, I think we still need an old school center. I think we still need a big body center, like somewhere that they could play, with their back to the basket,
That's why
turn
we picked
around
up
little shots.
Valanciunas. That's why we picked up the big Russian, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I think, what I'm saying, but I just like more of an old traditional center. I like, what I'm
Is it
saying,
due to
those.
old traditional center that we just picked
I
up?
mean, he's more of a finesse center, but
Who?
I would
He's a banger too.
He's a banger. I
he's
thought he was a
it,
banger.
I mean, he's somewhat of a banger, but I don't see some of those play. When I see European, I see more finesse than I see banger. Like when I see banger and this
So the
in this
Joker's not a
kind of
banger?
he is, but there's a lot more. There's a lot of finesse to him. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he reminds me of Tim Duncan. He's got that finesse shot where he could pull mid range and just shoot it on you. He don't need to bang as much down low. When I
That's
think of
true.
people banging down low, I'm thinking of more like a Brooke Lopez or what's the guy's name that used to be on the that used to play with John Morant. And he came from
Steven
OKC.
Adams.
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 Steven Adams. Those are big boys. You know what I'm saying? Valanciunas is a big boy. Those are people, 285, 300 pounds that'll keep putting weight on you, what I'm saying, every minute of the game. Start, bodying you. That's body that I'm talking about. True original centers, that'll just beat you up in the paint. That's something that we need. I like the Valanciunas pickup because that kind of like takes a little bit of pressure off of Sar coming in, where he doesn't have to bang down low and but what I'm saying, and put a lot of wear and tear on his body as a youngster. Let him grow into his body because
They,
Sar's going to need about a good like 3 more years before his body develops.
Well, even we're looking at Koulibaly right now. Koulibaly's got bigger since last year. He's taller and he's more muscular now. And like I said, it's amazing to me that us Americans, me and Deacon, and I'm sure y'all guys, we used to go to the court, the playground, and we didn't have to practice this. We're just part of our community. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
Koulibaly's from Europe, man. He has to practice this. You know what I'm saying? A crossover. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's doing is teaching them between the leg crossover, man. Which, Biggie Steve, I'm sure you did this every day of the week, man. At the local Berry Farms, outside park. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I mean, but nonetheless, Koulibaly's a great athlete. He's picking it up. He's getting better. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, it's amazing to me that when you go outside the country, some of the basic playground ball that we learn naturally that that they don't have, and that's what we got to do with all two of our picks, because we have two. We picked up two more Europeans, didn't we?
Yeah.
Frenchman and
A Swedish guy, right?
yeah.
Well, we got Kyle Anderson. We got to say Kyle Anderson. Sorry, we got Bub Carrington,
Bub
but
from
he's
Baltimore.
more Bub from Baltimore. But
That's
we
Swedish.
also got the other guy from the. Where is he from?
I think who
Sweden.
played in Miami. He's from Sweden or something.
He's from
From
Sweden.
Sweden. Oh, but he does know a little French though, because he did spend some time in France.
He jumped countries.
Yeah.
He was born in
So
one country, played in another country, and then
Yeah.
came to Miami.
See, Darius, this is common in DC, Darius. I know you're away from the city. I know
That's like the first move you learn.
that's the first move you learn here in DC, baby.
I remember I used to play that out. Man, remember I'm from PG. We used to listen to PG. What are you talking about?
You've been away too long.
Hey,
I wish they would bring that Barry Farmers basketball.
I still be
back,
balling.
man.
hey, man,
I still be
Deacon,
balling.
you remember Owens? You remember Tucker Road, Deacon? You know Tucker Road.
Yeah.
baby?
Oh man, I
saying?
played out in Tugger Road one time.
Yeah.
Y'all
I played
know,
on Tucker
y'all don't
Road
know about
one
no
time.
League District. Y'all don't know
They,
nothing
they,
about no League
they don't
District.
know about playing at the church on the carpet.
Yeah, on the carpet.
Mm-hmm. Ah, man. I'm not in the carpet though.
But
That
look
was every Wednesday, baby.
But just looking at my man right here, man, he's got a little taller. He did grow. He was 18 when he started, and now he's 19, going on 20. It looked like he got a couple of inches over the summer, so that's good to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Like a clean prospect, man.
So hopefully with these other,
I don't know.
Bud is only 18, I think, too, right?
Who's that?
Bud from Baltimore. He said only 18 too, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he's somewhere around there. But Carrington.
Yep. And then our number one is what, 19, right? 18, 19?
19.
19.
Where Bud come from? What college?
He went
Well, I come
to
from Pitt.
Pitt.
come from
Yeah, he went to Pitt. He's from Baltimore.
Yeah, but he went to Pitt.
Alright.
And Pitt, yeah, Pitt. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? He got some skills though. Bud got some skills. And I like the fact, what I'm saying? I like the fact that he'll be behind. He'll be what, third? He'd be either, or he could be a shooting guard.
Well,
They'll probably put Bud in two.
Well, it's like they said they're gonna have SARS at what? They're gonna have him at power forward to start off with till he learns.
Yeah, they're gonna start him at 4,
Yeah,
which is a good move again.
Huh?
I like Sarr at 4.
Yeah, he got to get strong.
And he could shoot too.
Yeah, he can
Right.
shoot.
He got some. He
So you
got.
can stretch it out, especially that way. You give Valanciunas space.
Yeah, that's our
And Val
game
could
team
shoot.
right there.
Valanciunas
His
can
game
shoot.
reminds
Val
me
could
so
shoot.
much. His game reminds me so much of like Kevin Garnett, SARS.
I think he's a little bigger than Garnett. Garnett was that skinny strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But
He's got a little
Garnett had the natural street game, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these young European guys got to learn. Which is kind of crazy because the look of the God, he has natural street ball too, but he just knew it. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice move right there. He put the body to him.
But he can dribble, so that's good too. See, he has talent. He has talent.
He took the ball all the way up.
areas of the game. So if we can just find somebody who can teach these guys how to play NBA basketball, man, he's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, hopefully the Wizards training staff and coaching staff, like the dribbling coach we just saw, they can get them up. One of the coaches, I believe, was Kevin Durant's direct coach too. I think our head coach was Kevin Durant's coach. They got Kevin's game the way it is, or Kevin got a lot of playground in them, but helped Kevin's game a lot. What's to do? Our head coach. So I'm hoping
the head coach did.
Yeah. So I'm
My
hoping.
thing is, go ahead.
I'm hoping they can develop these young guys, man. Especially, and I like Bud's game because Bud has some playground. He got the Baltimore playground in him already. He just got to shoot a little bit better at 6'4". And then, of course, learn the NBA game, too. 18, 19 is going to be a bit much for you. So he might do a little. You think Bud going to do a little go-go team, Deacon?
I think he's going. We'll see when they get to Vegas, man. When they get to Vegas, that's going to tell everything.
They're going to show a lot what they got.
Yeah.
Now, is the French guy going to Vegas, or is he going to play in the Olympics?
He's going to Vegas too.
He's going to Vegas too.
They already said nobody's going to the France. Everybody this year for the France team is not going to play overseas this year.
Well, I know the San Antonio dude is. We know he playing for France.
Yeah, Wemby is.
Wemby's playing for France.
Wemby? Oh, I mean, no, that's about this year's draft picks. Anybody from France from this year's draft picks are going.
They're not playing the Olympics this year. So
they're not playing the Olympics this year. Yeah.
They need to take my dude.
Didn't Bud have a couple triple doubles at points for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, his first game was a triple double. He said his first game out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and like I said, he's 6'4" now, and he's only 18. He might get you 6'5" at 21. You know what I'm saying?
He might, but he has a nice little jump on that elbow.
Yeah, he does. He has a nice little jump on the elbow. Like I said, he got some playground in him already. He got that Baltimore, Drew Park playground in him already a little bit. He's well known in Baltimore.
That's what I say. He's a great shooting guard. I give, you know what I'm saying, the fact that he's like 6'3", 6'4", you know what I'm saying? That's nice. I like that. So he could play.
He got a dog. He got a dog in him.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He got that dog.
He got that dog in him a little bit. Like I said, that's a little, like I said, Baltimore is rough now. You ain't going to Baltimore.
He'll talk to you.
Yeah, you're not going to just go in Baltimore and not got some dog in you.
Yeah, for sure.
Bammers.
And they may be Bammers,
and you ain't playing and be more quiet either. You gotta open your mouth.
Well, let's hope these guys are developed, man, because that's. I would hate for them to do all this and look this good as far as their style of picks and trying to get a certain type of player, and then these guys just don't work out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Scratch the surface again.
Biggie, look, what's the starting lineup, Biggie? Just hypothetically early right now, what's the starting lineup before the trades, and who you think is still going to be here, and what's the starting lineup for the 25th season for the tank season? Another tank season.
Okay, starting lineup. I'll even give you backup as well. So starting at the 1, you're gonna have. That's gonna be tough. I want to say
it's gonna be Poole.
Yeah, I say Poole's gonna be the number 1, and then as shooting guard, you'll probably have Corey. You probably have Corey. At the number 3, you'll have Kuz. Number 4. Yeah, number 3 you'll have Kuz.
I'm talking about Corey.
Corey's going to be a shooting guard because they already have him listed. From what I saw, they're going to have Corey play the 2.
They're trying to get number 1 pick for him too, Deacon.
Yeah, they're going to have Corey the 2.
They're probably trying to get Koulibaly.
Cooper Flag.
No. You want to advertise Corey Kishman at the beginning of the year to get the number 1 pick.
So you think they're going to play the main guys to the trade deadline, then let the play again?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah, they're trying to get that pick.
So Corey's gonna be number 2. Oh, I'm gonna get a Cooper Flag in a second. So Corey at the 2.
Okay.
3 is gonna be Kuz. 4 is gonna be Sarr, and 5 is gonna be Valanciunas. Now as backup, you got Brogdon as the number 2. You got what's his name from Pitt that's coming. He's gonna be our shooting guard. Then you got at the 3, you're gonna have Koulibaly.
He's a point guard. He's not a shooting guard.
What was that? Koulibaly?
Bud.
Brogdon can play the 2 though.
Bud can play the 2. But yeah, you can switch out between them 2 right there, him and Bud. You can switch from 1 and 2.
Well, who you got? Poole?
I said Poole's gonna be a starter.
I know, but who's backing him up?
Oh, that's gonna be Brogdon. So you'll have Malcolm Brogdon. You'll have Bud at the number. You'll have Bud at shooting guard. You'll have Koulibaly at the 3, and at the 4, you could either go. What's his name from the Knicks? He's a center. I said from the Knicks. We got him.
Bagley.
We got him last year. Bagley. He'll either play the 4 or the 5, and then you'll have Valanciunas. Valanciunas, yeah. Come play at the 5.
They cut the Vucevic. You said Valanciunas was starting.
I mean, I vote Vuvicic.
I heard they were bringing back Vugatech. Or they was
They
bringing
ain't
him back.
bringing him back yet.
Yeah,
They cut
that's
him.
true.
Isn't that the guy? Wait a minute, isn't that the guy that we picked that we put overseas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
that's him.
Yeah, but they brought him here. He played with Go-Go's too, but yeah, they cut him. They cut him and Rashad Holmes.
When did
They
they do
got
that?
Rashad Holmes.
I thought
Dang.
they got.
That was 5 minutes into the what's call period.
I thought they picked Holmes back
Damn.
up and gave him money.
Holmes is a solid backup. That was a bad
Yeah,
one.
Holmes got a contract, Deacon.
Look that one up.
Yeah. They
I know
signed
they cut. Who
Holmes.
they cut Vovacek. I know that they cut him.
They
and
cut
somebody.
Bogacek, but I heard they was trying to bring him back. Bring him back, man.
They're trying to bring him back because they didn't think nobody would pick him up.
Right. They probably was talking about bringing him back. But yeah, Biggie, I might agree with you on your starting 10 there. That's a good tank team.
Yeah, but
Which
my
is about
thing
to
is the
get.
tag team.
Okay.
My thing is, before I say to the tag thing, I don't understand. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Valanciunas, but are we really with this lineup? It seems to me that they're trying to win more games because we're not gonna.
How you gonna win
Huh?
more games?
Valanciunas ain't gonna give you no more games.
How's
I mean,
Valanciunas? He's
He's
not.
not gonna give. That's not the young Valanciunas.
this right here went from a 15 to a 20
We got the
season,
last
20
contract.
win season. I don't
I can see
know.
20. I can see 20
That's what I
wins.
said, and we're
I
not
can see
gonna
that.
20.
I see what
Thank
you
you.
mean.
Thank you. We just
I'm trying
went
to
up
Yeah.
5 games.
I'm trying to get Cooper Cuff, baby. We gotta go.
You're not
But
gonna
that's
you're
the
not gonna
problem.
outlose. You're not gonna outlose the Nets right now. If that's what your
Yeah,
goal was. You're
that's
not
the
gonna outlose the
problem.
Nets.
Exactly. Why would you unless you got Valanciunas to buy into losing, you know what I'm saying? And tell them like, look, we
Valanciunas is
trying
no
to lose
To
big
here.
lose
player.
it.
He's not gonna make
Yeah,
any.
unless you got him, there was no reason to pick him up right now. Because my thing is with Valanciunas,
They're
you're
trying to
winning
get
an
number
extra
one
five
picks.
games.
Big
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, Big Al. How are you gonna pick up on somebody that wants to win like Valanciunas? And
Biggie,
obviously that
Come on, man.
yeah.
I got you. I got you. What they're doing is they're using it as an asset. So they're gonna get him right now. We're gonna pay because we gotta pay somebody, and then we're gonna trade him at the trade deadline for a number one to help that tank stop. There you go.
I'm
How about
I'm
that?
hoping so.
Because you're gonna trade him to a contender. Someone's gonna need a
Um,
big. Someone's gonna need a
yeah.
big when trade deadline comes.
Cooper
He's
Cup
not,
is our three. Is our three.
he's not that good. He's not. He's an average.
He's solid.
At this point,
He's solid.
He's solid.
He's solid.
You're not picking up a solid guy to go
Hey,
to a
hey,
championship.
Biggie, you think Valanciunas stop the
You
Joker?
think Valanciunas is what?
Want to stop the Joker?
I think it's gonna stop the Joker. Of course not.
How about the big African in Philly?
I mean, not like that though.
Mm,
But when you come to teams like Orlando, when you play team because we lost to Orlando, but I mean when you come to teams, you know what I'm saying? Like let's say Atlanta, Orlando, stuff like that. Those are games that we could possibly win. Whereas last year we lost because we didn't have no center. So now that we got Valanciunas, he's a big body down there. You got him and you got Sar. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
We might
Between
win too
him
many
blocking,
games.
yeah, we might. That's an extra 3 more games won. And right now, this year, it's going to take 15 games or less to get the number one pick. We just made the
We're not
15th spot
getting
last year.
We're not getting the number one pick.
Why
Stop.
not, Deacon?
I don't care if we win one game. We're not getting the number one pick.
Okay, put it this way, Deacon.
Just
We
like
need.
You think
I don't even care. Hold up. I don't even care that we get the number one pick. The top 3 picks in this year's draft are
it's deadly.
solidified. It's deadly. It is
They're
deadly. If we could get a top 3 pick this year, it don't even matter between Cooper Flag, the young cat that they say that's like Kevin Garnett reincarnated, at number 2, and his other guy at 3, this little foreign guy or whatever, point guard. I don't know what it young. I'm telling you, the first 3 picks in the draft are what's that called? Our team changers, game changers. They're game changers. Cooper Flag, the young that said that Bama's that's like Harvey Kevin Garnett reincarnated. The Bama I saw The Bama threw an oop. The one that's like Carvin King threw an oop. He did a windmill. He caught it, did a windmill, and just yammed it. I'm trying to tell you, this year's draft, 2025 draft, is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. Top 3, and we need to be in top 3.
We're gonna get the number 5 pick.
Oh, don't do that,
Hey,
D.
Deacon,
Why are
I
you
see
doing that? Why are you
No,
doing that?
no,
You know that
Deacon.
sprinkling salt on the sugar, man. Why you on that? You and your sweet and sour. We don't need no sweet and sour mix.
Hey man,
For
not
Hey,
real.
Biggie, you talking about Ace Bailey?
Yes.
I agree with you.
Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey. Ace
Ace
Bailey is gonna be crazy.
Bailey.
Ace
Yes,
Bailey
he
is gonna be
is.
crazy. I was thinking in my mind, like, who is this guy? I know
Thank
who you talking
you.
about. Ace
Yes.
Bailey.
Ace
Yeah,
Bailey, y'all.
he
I'm
gonna be wrong.
telling you,
He gonna be
this
wrong.
draft.
The Deacon, the fix is
Number
in.
5
Deacon, you said the fix is in.
fixes in, baby.
Woo!
The game was out of stock.
Who gonna get the number 1 pick then, Deacon? Who you saying get the number 1 pick?
Brooklyn.
Them Charlotte Hornets.
Oh man. Oh,
We need it bad.
Jordan already sold the team, so he can't.
Listen,
I can't tell. We picked up a Frenchman in the first round. I don't know who this kid is.
We're not losing more than the
oh.
Brooklyn Nets. There's no way we're losing more than the Brooklyn Nets out this year. Ain't gonna happen.
Nah, you ain't
We
losing
have
more than
to.
the Nets, and you ain't losing more than the Hornets either. I really think we'll probably be the second. We'll probably be right
Detroit
behind
can get too.
the Nets.
Detroit trying to tank too.
I'm
But they
trying to
just signed
tell you.
Tobias Harris though, so that was weird. Like they signing cats, and they got JB. They signed JB Biggerstaff. I don't think he gonna tank. That boy
If
gonna
the
coach.
Wizards are smart enough, and if they are smart enough, they have to do whatever it is to fix these games. If they really want, if they really want,
Man, Biggie.
if they really want a face of the franchise, they have to get at least
Biggie.
top 3 picks. They got
Biggie.
to.
Man, Ace
Biggie.
Bailey or Cooper Flag is a
Or
must,
Cooper
right?
Flag, Young, or the other Bama, that's
Round
the
2
other
is
guy.
not going to win that
Yeah,
many games.
yeah.
I guarantee you, Biggie, we're going to win between 15 and 20 games. That's what probably
We
Hey, what y'all
we
think
need-
about Monty Williams though? How come y'all ain't going after him as a coach?
because we ain't got Cooper Cuff yet. We're waiting for Cooper Cuff.
Yeah, we're waiting
Flag,
for
Cooper
next year's
Flag.
draft.
We're
Cooper
waiting for
Flag.
We're waiting for
We're waiting for next
Who's he
year's
get
draft.
Hey,
him?
but you don't want the current coach to mix up Alex Starr and the current rookies either, though.
The current coach is a trainer, man. He trained Kevin. He trained KD. He trained the dude from Oklahoma. What's the dude from Oklahoma? The star dude.
SGA.
Yeah, SGA. This dude is he knows how to prepare you for to put buckets up. You said what he doing with Koulibaly? You just watch what he doing with Koulibaly. He got to learn how to cross over. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was the coach that was doing the crossover.
No, that's one of his guys. That's one of his
Oh,
guys.
okay. I was just making sure. I thought you was saying that was the coach. I was like, yo, that coach, that was crazy. He got better handles than Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
I don't think Jason Kidd could do that right now.
Nah, that's the dribbling coach. That's the dribbling coach.
Okay, cool.
We got a dribbling coach. We got a
Thought.
shooting coach. That's how we got my man, the man from Israel to get the number 1 pick. His game stepped up by 5 points, and then we got number 1 pick for him. We're gonna do the same
we're gonna pick
thing.
up a coach.
Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing for what's the dude that's playing 2 guard for you, Biggie? What's your 2 guard on your team?
He said Kisper.
Yeah, Kisper.
Yeah.
Kisper gonna get 5 more points a game, and we're gonna get number 1 pick for him.
Ain't no way.
Okay, so does that mean that then they get traded away? They gonna be horrible? Like, say for example, Denny, he go to Portland. Is he going ball? Or is that the Washington effect? Is he going ball?
He's gonna be a beast.
He gonna ball. He gonna be a ball.
beast.
He gonna be balling.
He's gonna be a beast.
Yeah.
Hey, and we can get 2 picks for Kuzi for the Sacramento. We're trying to get Sacramento to give us these 2 picks.
Ooh, Sacramento. That's not a bad spot for Kuz.
But they say Kuzi don't really want to go there though, because his lady in LA, he's trying to get back to the Clippers, and the Clippers don't want him.
We might be able to
Clippers don't want him.
Paul George down now. They got a spot.
They signed Derrick Jones though, so they already filled the man's spot.
Clippers got no more money left. Clippers don't have no money left.
Yep, they signed Nick Batum,
So
James
that's the problem.
Harden.
They got a hard cap now. The new CBA is a hard cap, so that's what's messing a lot of teams up.
You know who else they signed to though, real quick? They signed Kevin Porter Jr. Remember him?
Yeah. I heard he went to the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 years.
The Clippers opened a new stadium up this year. They got a new basketball arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
can listen. We can get 2 picks for Koozie Coos, but Koozie got to sign. Koozie got a thing. He got to sign off on a deal, and Koozie blocking all deals.
That's crazy because I really think that Sacramento deal.
I ain't trying to put Koozie business on the street, but Koozie must got something in the city, man, because his lady's in California. So what's he doing? Why he want to stay here?
He want to stay here so bad.
Because his lady live in California. She don't live here.
He just trying to wrap stuff up for the playoff, for the draft.
But Cruz likes it. Cruz likes it in DC though. It's man. I'm trying to tell you, DC is a chill spot. It's a very chill spot. He even said it. He was like, man, he loves DC.
Yeah, he did
it's not. It's not as flashy as LA, but it's a very chill spot. And then he can kind of like he said, he likes going to those foreign places like France and them places are a lot shorter in airtime than it is from Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? What France is ain't but over like what 12, 10 hours, something like that. 5 some weird stuff like that. So it's easier from the East Coast to get to those places like Japan and France.
His lady live in California though.
Man, but she's always doing. But she's doing a lot of stuff in New York as well, though.
She does.
You know what I'm saying? She does a lot of stuff.
She does a quick flight. This is a quick flight, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's a quick flight. That's why I said he's not worried. And I heard they still like they coming and doing her work.
Yeah, he didn't like Sacramento. He the one that nixed the Sacramento deal. He nixed the Dallas deal.
Yeah,
we had 2
picks. He nixed the Dallas deal. That's wild.
That's wild.
He could
have been in the championship. He did the.
He could have been in the finals with Luka and Kyrie.
We would have had our 2 picks right there.
Who's setting us up? He paying us back. We ain't gonna get no first round for him.
But don't get me wrong. I like Kuz as a veteran compared to us veteran. He's a very chill veteran. He's not.
We need that
not a rah veteran.
We need that spot.
And I know we need that spot, but
for me, Koozie shoot too much. I want my young guys gunning like that and learning how to make their own shots. Koozie gonna take the shots from him and Poole. I rather Poole is a wild shooter and Koozie's a wild shooter. Which one you rather shoot more, Koozie or Poole?
Poole. But when Poole gets hot, he gets hot though.
Man, he get hot.
And I don't want Poole getting too hot and he ends up winning games.
He was supposed to win games.
Yeah, I don't want Poole getting hot and he ends up winning us games. Nah, I'd rather go with Kuz. With Kuz can kind of like okay, because Kuz, they'll tell Kuz on the sideline, Kuz, chill out, Kuz. But you tell Poole, cool, you know what I'm saying? He'll be like, fuck it, I'm hot. Yeah,
so you don't want to be the worst team because then you'll be like Detroit. Detroit ain't get the number 1 the last 2 years, and they was the worst team.
Yeah,
the worst team always don't get number 1.
What do they say when people lose all the time? They want to lose all the time. Come on, that's losing mentality, man.
Losing mentality.
If you can win, you win, man. You let the chips fall where they may.
But right now they're only giving it like 30%.
I mean, if you
I think when we get the coach, they'll get the green light. You know what I'm saying? When we get the right coach, it'll be like, okay, you guys, we can start hooping now. We got all the pieces together. You know what I'm saying? Sarge got 1 year and Koulibaly's got 2 years in. You guys go out there and ball out. And I think that's what it's going to be. Because right now, we only signed a coach for a 1 year extension.
If Koulibaly gets that playground ball in him, man, he might be a little something. He a long arm 3. You know what I'm saying? You get a little playground ball, he might give us a little, but he already got good D already. Get a little playground ball in him.
Oh yeah.
And we can get Stars a little playground ball in him.
Wait, what are you saying about Koulibaly's defense? Come on,
Koulibaly's defense.
You can hurt me on that one.
He's got some defense.
I heard
Koulibaly's got some defense.
Hey, Darius, I heard you too. Hey,
that was crazy.
It's better than ball. It's better than ball.
Oh my gosh!
Because right now you might be right though. Because if we tank, Kispert's gone because Cooper's going to run that. He's going to be our number 2. He's going to be our shooting guard. So Kispert is going to be on his way out the door.
Yeah, they're trying to get number 1 pick for
That's what I'm saying. So Kisper's going to be a starter. He's going to probably be day one starter.
I think
They
Cooper
could
can
go
play
ahead.
2 or 3.
Listen. We know it. No matter how many first round draft picks we got to trade up, nobody's going to trade for Cooper Flag if he's that good. If he is a team changing athlete, nobody's going to trade him for 2 draft picks or 2 first rounds or 3 first rounds because you'll never know when you're going to get that kind of athlete again, man. So leave it alone. We're not getting Cooper Flag. If we get him, it'd be like we got Alex Starr because the other team didn't want him.
Oh, man.
Let it be, man. Well, you said there are 3 guys. They don't all play the same position. So not all teams need Cooper Flag's position. You know, they might have a guy. So it might fall to number 5. Might fall to number 5 where we're going to be sitting.
Wow.
All right. So let's wrap it up, though, real quick. Let's wrap up this NBA talk here real quick. I got 20 games. Biggie, how many games you got us doing? Winning.
I'm going for 15 again.
What you got, Deacon?
I'm going to take the middle, 17.
Darius, I ain't asking you, man, because you a Charlotte fan.
Yeah, hater.
He a hater. I ain't asking you.
I ain't a hater. I do think 20. I think 20 to 22.
2022. It's the closest without going over now. Be careful. 22 is a lot.
22 might be too much. 22 might be too much, man. All right, so let's wrap this thing up, man.
You say how much you got out?
I said 20.
These
I
are
got 20. This, I think a 5-game swing. 5-game swing. 5 games more.
Hey, that's a lot.
That's a lot, man. But that still keeps us in the lottery. You know, keeps us probably top 5 in the lottery.
Top 5. We guaranteed to get within the top 5.
And how many games did Atlanta win last year? Because they had the number 1 pick this year. I think they had the lowest odds.
I think Atlanta won 28 games.
No, Atlanta had they should have had the number 4 or 5, but the the balls went in their way and they had to get number 1.
I didn't see him pick. I didn't see him pick. I think it was a setup. Show me where they picked.
You think it was a setup?
Show me where they picked the ball out of the thing.
They never show that, Deacon.
That's right. I think it's a setup. That's why.
Yeah, it's funny though because they didn't even
just
get
like
the
that
first they
Spurs.
wanted.
Just like the Spurs one for Wemby. I think that was a setup.
The Spurs get a center every time they need to get a first round draft pick.
It's insane.
Come on, man. Come on.
The last three has been all Hall of Famers. Like Wemby's a Hall of Famer. Like that's bearing any horrible injury. Like this dude is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a walking Hall of Famer. Coming.
Somebody got some pictures.
Hey man, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, man. I think that we have a viable option to get, the viable option to get a number 1 pick. We got John Wall, man. We got John Wall, the number 1 pick.
That's what I said. We're due for a number 1, y'all. Either a number 1 or another number 2.
We got one this year, but we didn't get it.
I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it.
Who's the other number 1 pick? Kwame Brown.
What year was John Wall?
Kwame was not.
John Wall was
2010.
2010.
No, 2010, right?
No, 2012.
Hey, that was that long ago. Y'all had the number 1.
Yeah, what was that dance?
Yeah.
He was doing that. He came out with that stupid dance. Came out. Was it super?
Nah, the Dougie.
The Dougie. Whatever the year the Dougie came out, that was his number 1 pick year. I think that was 2010.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, what's something like that?
When he came out doing the Dougie,
yeah,
that was his name.
Yeah.
But it's been well over 10 years since y'all last number 1, though.
Yeah,
Dang, that's a long
Bradley
time.
Beal was
Yeah.
the number 3.
12.
Bradley Beal was the number 3.
Hey, Biggie, you right. We do.
We do, big.
We do. That's why we're gonna get number 5. We do.
We're due
Y'all
for a
do?
number 1.
We're gonna
due
get
for
number 1 next year. Not this year. Coming up next year, we'll get number 1.
If San Antonio could do it, why can't we?
Because we ain't got that.
Because y'all ain't winning chips like San Antonio.
Yeah, but I mean we're due for you know what I'm saying, a new game changing like John Wall. Yeah. That's why I said, and I think Cooper Flag would definitely represent DC.
Yep.
Because I mean, if we're trying to change things around, I think the NBA be like, you know what? We'll give him Cooper Flag. We'll give him. We'll be nice.
I can't wait to see what he looks like in Duke this year. And I hate Duke. I'm a Tar Heel, but I want to see what
I'm
this
gonna be
kid.
following it.
Yeah.
Him and what's his name that you just said too.
All right.
Oh, Bailey. Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, him
Yeah,
and Bailey.
too.
Get out of here, gentlemen. Cool flag ain't coming, but
You're right, because he's coming to Charlotte.
we
EK glasses, champion of Spartacus, Bally's and gold ropes, polka dot shorts, backpacks, Nikes and Van Grax, MCM come again. The fact that I'm in the booth now, hip hop alive and well throughout the underground. Remember to let us into your skin, and we'll begin to master rhyme and